ISIS Audiobooks presents an unabridged recording of A to Z of Hell, Ross Kemp's How Not to Travel the World, written by Ross Kemp, read by Mark Meadows. The moral right of the author has been asserted. Introduction. My dedicated team and I have been making documentaries for nigh on 10 years now, and during that time we've become incredibly close, fallen out, made up, laughed, cried, and come face to face with some of the very worst aspects of humanity. One thing I know for sure, I wouldn't be here now 5 coffees down and 4 Kit Kats to the good if it wasn't for that team. I want to thank them all from the bottom of my heart, and everyone at Sky for giving us the freedom and support to make the films we want to make. As I sit here writing with my editor, Ben Dunn, looking over my shoulder, I remember that I originally wanted to call this book The A to Z of What Not to Do, because, given the option of doing the right or the wrong thing, I have generally chosen the latter. And amazingly, most of those bad decisions have happened off the screen. So this book hopefully captures those moments you don't see on TV. However, as you can tell, I often don't get my own way. Others may disagree. So my editor insisted we call it the A to Z of Hell for commercial reasons. So if you have purchased this book, he was right and I was wrong. If you haven't, then I was wrong again. Whatever's on the front cover, this book is an honest, sometimes tragic, and at times, hopefully amusing account of what happens when a hyperactive 40-something-year-old man gets given the opportunity to travel the world and make documentaries. And as far as I'm concerned, long may it continue. Ross Kemp, Ben Dunn's office, Penguin Random House, Pimlico, 1821, the 25th of February, 2014. A is for Avez-vous le Boeuf? Grade 2 CSE is the extent of my French, but even so, I know what Avez-vous le Boeuf meant. It meant a pair of hungry, angry, and possibly stoned Congolese guys were coming to get me. Or at least it did on the night in question. We were in the east of the Democratic Republic of the Congo for a film in the second series of Extreme World. It was the first time I'd returned to a genuine war zone since Afghanistan, and it would prove to be an eye-opening, not to mention distressing experience, mainly because of the sexual violence associated with the war. Not only is the war in the Congo the bloodiest conflict since the end of the Second World War, with around 6 million dead since 1998, but almost 400,000 women are raped there every year. Horrifically, brutally raped. It is, according to the UN, the rape capital of the world. It's ironic how many countries with democratic in their name, many of which I've been to, clearly aren't. Because the Eastern DRC is technically a war zone, there are no commercial flights in and out, so we had to reach it by road from neighbouring Rwanda. That was fitting, because it's in Rwanda that the roots of the Congolese conflict lie, the immediate roots anyway, when in 1994, during an attempted genocide that shocked the world, the Hutu tribe tried to ethnically cleanse Rwanda of Tutsis. The Tutsis rose up against the Hutus and forced 2 million of them, including some of the ringleaders of the original uprising, to flee the country. And where did they go? They took the same road we did when we made our way from Rwanda into the Eastern Democratic Republic of the Congo. It was quite a journey, going from one country where the fighting and barbarism has drawn to a close into another where it continues to rage to this day. In terms of the change from one to the other, it was like leaving Switzerland and finding yourself in Hades. For as we drove around the outskirts of Lake Kivu, still in Rwanda, we saw no signs of conflict. No barbed wire, no rubble, no half-demolished homes. Not even the piles of plastic you seem to encounter everywhere else in Africa. Then we entered the Congo. And what a difference. Rubbish, barbed wire and rubble were everywhere. We'd seen very few guns in Rwanda, but here in the Congo it seemed as though every other guy was carrying the
Sample complete. Ready to continue?